What's going on, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. We're giving you a Fire 5 on a 5-game slate on a Sunday. I'm here with my partner, Riaz. He is back for this video. So if you caught last video, it was just me. So if the video was not your favorite, I got the man back. So he's going to give you a couple picks we're looking at for our Fire 5. Basically, we're going to go down from point guard to center here. We're going to give you 5 picks if this is your first time being here. This is not necessarily a lineup builder, but you can build a lineup off of these 5, but these are kind of 5 picks that we're going to be targeting in a couple of our lineups. So why don't you kick us off in the point guard position, Riaz?
Yeah, I'm excited to be back. But at point guard, we're going to start off with Shay, Gillis, Alexander at 6'8". The first couple games hasn't been great for him. I know the Thunder are in a rebuild, so that doesn't really bode well for him, kind of patenting his stats with assists. But we've seen him take the shots he needs to take. I mean, he's 2 for 13 from the three, which is not what we're used to seeing with him, but they're playing against the 76ers or who are in the media a lot with Ben Simmons and kind of in a weird spot, coming off a loss against the Nets. So I think this is a good spot for him to get right. We like his price tag here at 6'8". I mean, he was priced up so much last year, and to see a guy like Shea at 6'8", I mean, it's just tough to not want to play him.
Yeah, so his price does go up, but this is a smaller slate. I think he's going to be incredibly low owned. So if you're looking to get a little edge over the rest of the field, he might be sub 5% on this slate. So, I mean, it is a 5 game. So, I mean, I'm gonna say under 10 for sure, in my opinion. So not this is also not like a super sexy spot for him. But listen, 2 blowouts, the last 2 games. So if they can somehow keep this close with Philly, I think it's gonna be awesome. That's the problem. Like this, just these blowouts. So I don't expect him to get blown out like 3 straight games. I think that's kind of why we're on him, especially because of the factor that he's gonna be low owned. So we're gonna plug him there. Uh, then there's also, like I said, there's not much value to get to in the point guard spot. I mean, there's a guy that we're going to talk about now in the shooting guard position that's also point guard eligible, and that guy he's at 4'2", and that's D'Anthony Melton of the Memphis Grizzlies. So we were also looking at Bane. But I think Melton is the guy we're going to want to get to here in Memphis. He's having a game right now where he's playing particularly well. But 31 minutes in the first game, 31 and a half fantasy points. His price is starting to creep up. But yeah, he's having an awesome game right now. So Riaz, what do you think about Melton?
Yeah, Melton's awesome this year. Dylan Brooks is out with a fractured right wrist, so no worries. Melton will still be in the starting lineup, getting that 30-35 minutes. He kind of splits time with Bane, who we just talked about, but that doesn't really matter. He's a great shooter. He plays both ends of the court, and at 4'2", with a guy playing the amount of minutes, the volume, um, just incredible. He's just playing incredible this year, so it's just kind of tough to fade a hot hand. And at 4'2", I'll be playing him in all of my lineups.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome upside with this play, I think too. And this is a game that should stay really close. That's why I really like this matchup. They just went out and beat the Clippers by 6, so I don't think that they're 100% not out of this game. I'm curious on what the line is for this. Memphis might not be a bad little might not be a bad little money line here also to take, just for a little sleeper play. But no, Melton went for 35 and 3/4 on Draftkings, which is nice. 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Had a pretty good shooting night, 50% from three, over 50% from the field, and yeah, just a good game from Melton. So we like him there. Also, Bane had a good game too. So like I said, we were looking at Bane, but I like Melton more in this spot. Uh, we're gonna get to small forward here, Riaz. Who do you like?
We like Tatum here, priced up at 8'8", kind of where he's been. He was the same price when they played Toronto 2 days ago. But Jason Tatum's just a guy who shoots the ball a ton, past the stats with rebounds and assists. There's not really that many players you can pay up for here. I mean, there's just the standard like LeBron, Anthony Davis. But if you want to be a little contrarian and kind of have a mid-priced lineup, I don't mind going Tatum whatsoever. Tatum, puts up 40 points, gets 10 boards, sprinkles in like 5, 6 assists, and he's gonna have an awesome night. And the Houston Rockets, I mean, yeah, they're a young team, but they play fast, and this game could well go over combined 250 or yeah 250 here, and someone's got to score those points. And Tatum's just an awesome play.
Yeah, I like Tatum here in the spot. I think also we forgot to mention is as well as Jaylen Brown is questionable for this game, so that's just a huge usage kick for Tatum. I do think Brown is going to sit just for the fact that they're playing Houston, and I do think that they're heavy favorites in this game. And I don't know. I think it's a good spot for Tatum. I think even without Brown, they're still going to be pretty good favorites. But either way, had just a rough shooting night in that first game, but it did go into double OT. So take the attempts a little with a grain of salt, a little bit. 15 shots from three, but then the next game comes and shoot, and then they get blown out by Toronto. But I think he's a lock to play. Like 35, 36 minutes. I think that's fair to assume. And I think just as like the main guy in this offense, especially with Brown being out, I think this is just an awesome spot, especially at 8-8. So I don't know what his ownership is going to be, but I expect it to be right in the mid 20s, especially if we get Brown news that he's officially going to be out. But if he stays questionable, man, this might go like 15% owned. So we'll see. Why don't you start letting us know what you want for power forward, Riaz?
Yeah, we're gonna go with Wendell Carter Jr. They're going against the Knicks. He's priced at 5'7". The Knicks play big. They have Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. So Wendell Carter is going to be out there for a while, for most of the game. Him and Bamba are a great duo down low. They really counter each other very well, and it's awesome that Carter's extended his range where he does take 3-point shots. And for a center power forward, I mean that's just more upside for you. And we've seen in the last couple games. I mean, double double in the last game, 2 rebounds off the first game from a double double, and he's getting assists. He had 4 assists last game, which for a center, that's like that's big time. That's counting in the blocks and everything. You really can't beat that. And he's averaging 31 fantasy points, and at 5'7", I mean that's almost uh the five. That's the 5X you're looking for.
Yeah, I like him in this. I mean, I like him in this game. But I mean, I know the Knicks play. You know, they were known for defense last year, but I do think this is a spot where he can have a good game, especially at this price. Uh, double factor every night. I think that he's going to play around same amount of minutes, probably around 30, 32. You know, unless there's some foul trouble, we hope not. That's always a factor for playing a center, but regardless, he has a lot of opportunity out there, like what you said about him and Bamba. And if he can, pour on a couple blocks, maybe a couple deep shots, I think that he has a chance to get 40 fantasy points easily. So we'll plug him in there. And then center, the last guy we're going to talk about is actually Christian Wood as well in that Boston Houston game. Wood is priced at 8-4. I don't think you're going to be getting him at this price for much longer. I think he's going to be a guy that creeps up into the nines. Really being serious about that. He's going to play a ton of minutes, double factor every single night. 3 blocks last game, a steal. He does it all. Really, and it fills up the stat sheet for the centers. And I just think this is just an awesome spot for him. He's got Robin Williams and Grant Williams down low. I don't think it's really going to be too much of a headache for him down there. So I think that they're going to need him here, especially if they want to keep this game competitive. And man, he even steps out and hits the three, and he hits it at a decent percentage too. So I like Wood.
Yeah, I mean this is a great spot for him. The first game of the year, I mean he didn't really play too hot, and he really took advantage against these rebuilding um, um, Thunder, and we see that he's kind of the main guy there with no John Wall. Um, Kelvin Porter Jr. is he's the second option. I mean, they want to give Wood his shots. He grabs every board. He plays great defense, and he's just the stone that holds the wall together for this team. And against this Boston Celtics team, they're going to need him in a big way. And like I touched on earlier, I think this game is going to be pretty high scoring. And I think Christian Wood is going to put up probably 25 shots and have himself an awesome game.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll plug him in there at center, and that'll leave you with 53 salary remaining to plug in the rest of your three spots, total of 16,000. So definitely you can get low on some of these guys. Like I said, we touched on Bane. That's some guy that's decent at value, and we'll see with the Brown news what happens if that opens up a little bit of Boston value too in that game. So always some of the Houston guys are pretty low. You can kind of pick out one of those guys who's going to do good. But like I said, we're not here to build a lineup, or we're going to give you five structural guys you can base your lineups off of. If you're looking for surprise picks videos, we do those too as well. Those are doing awesome. So if you want to go check those out and give us some more support, feel free to do that. Subscribe down below if you want to see some more content from us, and we hope you have an awesome day. Thank you. Peace.